Hey guys, Roberto here with Riffs and Rhymes, coming to you with the second episode of our brand new monthly video series, Record Talk. This is a segment we're going to be doing where we break down and discuss essential records in our vinyl collection at length. In case you missed it, we kicked things off a few weeks back with an episode on Danny Brown's 2011 album Triple X. You can still check that out. Just go to our Instagram page. You can watch it on IGTV or YouTube. Now for today's episode, we're going to be chatting about one of my favorite songwriters out right now. I think one of the most essential indie acts this past decade, and of course that is none other than Angel Olsen, specifically her 2016 album My Woman. Give you guys a peek at the back side of the jacket. Beautiful record, great record, was received very well upon its release. I think it still holds up as a great project today, and we're going to discuss why. So let's get into it. So a little primer on Angel Olsen. If you're unfamiliar, she is a Midwest native singer-songwriter who came out in the early part of last decade. Her first album, Halfway Home, came out in 2012. It was a bit more of a traditional folk record, had some really good recordings on there, some great songs. Definitely established her talent and potential as a songwriter. She followed that up in 2014 with Burn Your Fire for No Witness, which essentially took those folk songs and set them to harder instrumentation. Came out with a more aggressive folk rock sound, which then reappeared in 2016 on My Woman and took that to new heights. And Angel's most recent record just came out last year, 2019, and that was All Mirrors, which totally reinvented her sound stylistically, pushed it in a more expansive art pop direction, a lot more big, cinematic, grand, synthetic. So Angel's had a pretty illustrious career this past decade. And even though she still fits in the category of the archetypal singer-songwriter, what's always made her stand out is her completely unique vocal style, which is on full display on My Woman, which, looking back at her career now, I think this is the record that really established her on a new level of significance, both artistically and critically, and even in terms of her popularity. So what makes this album special? First, let's chat about the music a bit. So first and foremost, My Woman is a true blue rock and roll album. The first thing you notice when you dive into the meat of the track list is the added punch of a full band, which is something that Angel used on her previous record. So here it shows up again. And the end result is a really jammy garage rock sound. You have songs like Shut Up, Kiss Me, and Give It Up, which sounds like it's straight out of the 90s grunge scene. But what these tracks did and what this style did is that they brought a lot of attitude, a lot of aggression, and a lot of energy to the record, which is a credit to Angel and her backing musicians. These up-tempo songs add a lot of energy to the record, but Angel and her band aren't afraid to take things in a more sensual direction either. They use a more genre-fluid approach on songs like Heart-Shaped Face, which is a longer, slower ballad that incorporates some jazzy and soulful touches. Then you have a song like Intern, which is a lot more electronic, using a lot of weird synths, hinting at the direction Angel would take on her next album. You also have songs like Sister, which have some really cool psychedelic undertones. This combination of extended jams paired with the languid and slower ballads creates a lot of space for Angel to use different vocal approaches from song to song. And even though her and her band are pulling from a lot of retro stylings, whether that be 90s alt-rock or old-time rock and roll, they're able to do so and update it in a way that is still really punchy, really catchy, really upfront, and contemporary. Now, when it comes to the songwriting and the themes on My Woman, this is probably the area that's Angel's most identifiable characteristic as an artist. In terms of her singing, she has a really diverse vocal skill set. On one track, she can be a verbose folk singer. The next, she can be an in-your-face rock shouter. And at the same time, she can lay back and be more of a soul crooner, depending on where she wants to go with any given song. She's able to manipulate her voice with different inflections, different pitches, and at different volumes in order to convey different emotions. On a song like Never Be Mine, I mean, Angel is lusting after this person. She is agonizing over them, even though she knows she'll never be able to have them. This is a perfect example of her being able to match her emotional desires to unique vocal inflections in a really effective way. And this is something she does from song to song. And when you look at a lot of lyrics on Angel's songs, the constant is her unflinching sense of honesty. A lot of her writing spends a lot of time examining the different relationships in her life, whether it be those people around her, those she's involved with romantically, and also her relationship with herself. Now, when Angel's approaching these things, she uses a very confessional tone. She's the type of person who spills her guts out on every song, does not hold anything back. And depending on the sensitivity of the subject matter, her tone can also get pretty confrontational. Whether it's nostalgia and reflecting on relationships of the past on a song like Those Were the Days, or take a song like Woman, where she's standing up for herself, holding her ground, almost to the point where she's becoming enraged. And the vocals on this song sort of match that sentiment in the lyrics, where as the instrumentation picks up, Angel's singing almost comes unhinged, bringing a lot of power, strength, and just really driving home the message of what she's saying. Throughout My Woman, Angel's exploring themes of sadness, femininity, heartbreak, but also hope. Take a song like Pops, which is an awesome closer to the record. It's a soft, really pretty piano ballad. Angel's voice in the mix it has this fuzzy and lo-fi quality to it that adds a really nice melancholy texture to it. She's essentially writing about a failed relationship that went wrong for one way or another. And in looking back at it, she's reliving these traumatic memories. It's really clear that it was disastrous and hurt her in a lot of ways, but she's choosing to look back on it, find the good in it, even as disastrous as it was, wish the best for her partner, saying, hey, wear my heart on your sleeve, things like that, in a really poetic way. So even when she is singing about, these times of sadness in her life, she's trying to find the silver lining and hope for a better tomorrow.
Live out your life. I'll never tell you you're wrong. Baby, don't forget it's a song. I'll be the thing that lives in the dream when it's gone.
In her introspection, Angel's able to take what are normally internalized thoughts and turn them into these elaborate meditations on romance and personal growth. And I think that's what really makes My Woman so great from a thematic perspective. She comes out with what really is a stunning collection of heartfelt love songs that really come from a deeply personal place. The key takeaways from My Woman definitely have to start with the performances and execution of the songs. By this point in Angel's career, she was no more the youngin' on the scene. She wasn't a rookie. This was her third studio album. She had a couple EPs out, and you can just feel the heightened sense of confidence and self-assuredness in the creative process, in the execution of the songs. Her and her band really delivered on all fronts. Now, in that same vein, in terms of the sound of the record, is this reinventing the wheel? Certainly not. But with that said, I think it's refining it. I think Angel sort of looked around and said, hey, there's a lot of people writing some really great introspective folk rock songs. I'm gonna raise the bar a little bit. And I think she came through 100%. As the more time passes, I think this record continuously holds up. Angel's clearly not going anywhere. She's still releasing great albums. And when people look back at this time, not just at her career, but in terms of indie rock and singer-songwriter music, she's definitely going to be one of the first names that comes to mind. And My Woman will always be sort of a hallmark record in that retrospect. All right, guys, that wraps up episode 2 of Record Talk. Really hope you enjoyed it. Please comment, like, share this post with someone. It would mean a ton to us. All feedback is appreciated, good or bad. You can catch up on all Record Talk episodes on IGTV and YouTube. We'll probably have another one coming out in a few weeks, so keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, lots of good stuff coming out on the blog right now. Aside from that, I hope everyone is staying safe and healthy. But I will catch you guys again soon, and until then, take it easy.